I moved here pregnant. I was like 4 or 5 months pregnant with my firstborn, my son Wisdom, and it was hard. Like I went through really, really bad postpartum depression. I stopped DJing for a long time. I stopped doing radio. I walked away from XM radio, and I really just took time to assess myself and just be with my son. That was when I really decided to be a stay-at-home mom and be a homeschool mom, and like really just take a hands-on approach with my son. And it was hard because I was watching all my friends, just skyrocketing their careers and everything, and here I am stagnated, or I felt stagnated. But really, what I see now is that I've developed so much spiritually. You understand? And so that like I have a spiritual soundness to myself that a lot of my friends don't have. They're running a rat race. They're constantly
because they got the power to up and go. They don't even know exactly.
They're not happy. Shit. I was listening to the interview before me, or 2 interviews before me, the dude, and he was like, a lot of people are doing a lot of stuff, but they're not happy. Yes. For me, doing what I do with my children it brings me so much joy. I love my kids. I love creating with my children. I came from a broken family. My mother wasn't really involved. If you read the book, check out the book. It's on Amazon. Yes. But my mom wasn't involved. So for me to be omnipresent in my children's lives, it's everything. It was more important than my career at XM Radio. Correct. It was more important than anything. I'm building again. I'm on radio again. Those things can be replaced. Absolutely. But the time that you have to pour into your children, that time is limited. They're like sponges from the time they're born until that cat to like 6. Absolutely. So yes, correct. I look at my son now. He's reading on a 1st or 2nd grade level. He's doing math on a 1st or 2nd grade level. He's 5. And then I look at kids who go to school. No shade or anything, because parents, they have to do what they have to do. But the system, absolutely.
If you like, when we were brought up, even though we didn't have the right, I'm not gonna say the right, but we had ancestors. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? We had people that knew certain things, that it was just homegrown with certain things.
It's a disconnect nowadays.
It's a disconnect because now I ain't gonna say disappointing, disrespecting our grandmothers when they say certain things. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? The younger generation.
It's a total generational gap. I was even saying, like with the music, it has a lot to do with the music. Like there's a disconnect. We're the only culture that doesn't respect our elders and our ancestors. We kind of like, we shit on them. You know what I'm saying? Like especially in hip hop. In hip hop in particular, the young dudes. It really goes back to the Jimmy Lynch letter. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to that, and how we're separate, and you pitch the young against the old, and the light skin against the dark skin, and go back to Willie Lynch, and then you kind of can assess where that kind of comes from.
And really, what and I know that we're just having an open conversation right now. I just really feel like we all can learn from each other, and that's what I was trying to take from the last interview that you were talking about too. That we can all learn from each other if we set pride aside and egos aside, which is why I love what he's doing with No egos. That's what it is in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? If you're not in tune with this clique or whatever, they just kind of feel like, oh, okay, we'll catch that on like they name ain't brought up on.
It's a very political, because I'm from New York, and it's a way different vibe. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it's not cliquish, because every city has their cliques, and every industry has their cliques, or whatever the case may be. But here in Chicago, in particular, is very political. And if you're not in that political field, or if you're not moving with certain politics behind you, if you don't have certain protections, you're not going far. And that's just the reality of what it is.
And then once you speak on that, because